we're in the world. We're just told not to be of the world, but think for yourself.
Absolutely. You said something last time we were talking, and you were talking about the world and what was going on the in the world, and then you came and said, "But you don't have to stay there. You can lift yourself up in consciousness." And somebody came back and said, I love the messages, but Lindell seems to be, moving towards doom and gloom. And I said, not so. If we listen to Neville or any teacher, Neville talked about some events that took place during his time, like the kidnappings, the plane crashings, and so forth. Now, if you just took that and you stopped there, you would say, well, Neville sure was being negative, but you have to look on the world without so that you can begin to focus on the world within. Otherwise, you think that the world without is the key player. People don't realize that mind is the key player. And the only reason why these things are taking place is because people have given their attention to these so called negative events.
What has your attention has your life. And if you're experiencing the negative, then that's what has your attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
The, the thing of it is, it's so difficult because it is so simple. And we're not to believe that anything. Look, you can go to church for 40 years and they're still telling you to do this and do this and do that and do that. And if you don't do this, you'll do that and do that right. Hey, you're gone anyway. No matter what you do or don't do, because not one is worthy. So it's not about being worthy, it's about being willing. Are you willing to sit in the silence and consider what we're talking about? I mean, it's your story. It's your message. It's right there in scripture. You can open the Bible and see right there. It that's where we got it. Well, actually, I couldn't get it there. I tried to for a long time, and secular history didn't seem to make sense. But when you see it from divine history, it takes on a whole new perspective. You start seeing how it's been put together. In other words, they'll pick out a man and they'll show you what he's thinking, how he's feeling, and then they'll show you what he's doing and what he's experiencing. And they say, there it is, right there. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, and here he's experiencing it. And he got involved in this because that's what he was thinking. And he got involved in that because that's what he was thinking. As you think, you are, you do, you have, you be. I mean, on and on and on out the scriptures. That's what you're being told, that as you think, you are. Why not start right there? I mean, you got your own thoughts. Why not start right there? Because that's see, you're either doing it or denying yourself. It's as simple as that. When you say,
I would. You were talking about the secular history as opposed to spiritual or divine history. And it was your bookstore, the talks that you did was based off of divine history. And what we call that is, in layman's terms, metaphysical. So we go beyond the physical. Many people look at scripture and they stay solely at the physical level of what's being read, but there's a deeper meaning under the meaning. And sometimes there's layers of meaning under the meaning. So that's what we're trying to do is get them to, as you think, you are, you reproduce, you have, you do, you be.
this what I'm telling you is that if you're watching what you're thinking, you're seeing your future.
Absolutely.
Someone says, well, you can't know the future. Yeah, you can. As you think you are. So what are you thinking about? That's what you are. I mean, I tried to keep it simple because that's what I was told. Keep it simple, stupid. And it hit me right where I live. See, I would complicate everything. Oh man, I could dream up stories on just the a sentence, and I could have monsters. And then you complain about the monsters, and then you get more monsters because you're complaining about monsters, and all things produce after their own kind. So you get more and more monsters, and then you're wondering, why me? Why this? Why now? Well, just listen to what you're talking to yourself about, how you're arguing with this person, how you're feeling bad toward that person, judging. What are you? Why are you judging anything? You're just told, hey, you want to make it, let go and let God. That's it. Fantastic. It's all under control. I don't have to control anything. I claimed it as in control, and we're told, step up and claim it. That's how you get it. You claim it. Like I've said, that Emmett Fox book, the whole book is on stake your claim. Isn't that what if you go out looking for gold, wouldn't you be staking your claim if you found it? And guarding yourself to see that you don't start thinking of nonsense of losing it before you even got it out of the ground. I say that because, we used to go gold diving up the rivers, up in Clam, way up there. Evo, Panhandle, Oceana, all of them, they all come together. And we go up, and what would happen is there would be actually people sitting up in the high ground watching people down below taking gold out of the river. And they'd sit up there for quite a while because they wanted them to have quite a load. And then they'd rob them.
Is that right?
Yeah, no. There's a lot of cases of it. In fact, a lot of times people get shot.
Wow.
Usually both sides had guns. It'd be a shootout over gold.
Over gold.
Die for it. What good does it do you if you did?
Yeah. Yeah. You made me think about something. Now we're having shootouts over ideals.
Right. That's right. See, that's what complicating everything is. See, you complicate your life, and then you wonder why does it seem to be going so weird? Because you're thinking weird. Simple answers for everything, because because I didn't figure it out. It just came to me, like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? And yeah, that's the way a God would do it, isn't it? Yeah, right.
I like that you brought that back up. You said that it just came to you. A lot of times, spirit is speaking, higher self is speaking to people, and they totally ignore it. And then they say, well, God doesn't speak to me.
Yeah. Hard speaking to a block wall.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You're not hearing it.
Yeah.
Your focus is on something. You're in, not only just in the world, but you're of the world. See, and that's what has your focus. What's going on around, and that's all secondhand. Yeah. And that's why I call it secondhand land, because everything out there is secondhand. It was only new as idea. Hey, everything out here, all the buildings and bridges and everything, all came out of the mind of man. Why can't they come out of your mind too? Why do you have to be poor and praying for more poor? That really gets me, because no, they do that too.
Yeah.
They do that. They go whining and crying to God. I'm so sick of it. Yeah, well, okay, you had a choice. There it is.
I'm sorry, but yeah, as simple as you make that, I'm hoping that the listener gets what's being said. So I mean, yeah, we laughed about it and so forth because I did it for years, and in doing it for years, I remained impoverished for years until I changed my mind and my world started to change.
That's what we're told, isn't it?
Yeah.
That nothing changes until you change. Even dying doesn't change anything. You go right on with the same play, same involvement, humanity. It just goes on and on and on and on. How long, oh Lord, how long? And you go, oh, when you get it. I'm giving it to you. I'm seeing that you get it. I got a lot of people out there telling you that it's as you think you are. So how much do you have to be told? I'm with you always. I will never leave you. Isn't that immortality?
Absolutely.
If God is never going to leave you, huh? Uh, really something to think about, isn't it? You know, Einstein had it perfect. All he wanted to know was God's thoughts. The rest of it was just details. I'm giving you God's thoughts because He told me to tell them to you, and I'm telling them to you. It came to me as a gift. I'm giving it to you the same way. It's a gift, and you're told that worshiping God is using His gifts, so you have the gifts. You must have the gift if you're told that worshiping God is using those gifts. You must have them, but you have to recognize it. You have to claim them. That's like I said. In the Fox's book about claiming, you see, you have to show up to claim something, don't you?
You do.
Either that or send a lawyer. But you see, then you're going to have to get half it to him.
Absolutely.
At least 40%. Well, I tell you, once you start catching yourself, setting yourself up, then you wonder how did I ever get this far along?
Yeah.
I set myself up in so many nonsense situations, and they could have come down like a building over you, but it didn't happen because, well, there's a little bit of me that didn't think it would. So it's a split decision. But you see, you can't survive. Well, yeah, you can survive on split decisions, but is that good enough? Just surviving? You know, that, no, no. Most people feel that they're losing out, and they are losing out because they're allowing themselves to lose out. You're allowing it. Understand? Because you're judging by appearances, and you're told not to judge by appearances because appearances will show you the worst of what's on the menu right there. You have to think for yourself. Isn't that what coming of age is?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
self and risen. See, so when he's telling you that you deserve not only freedom but everything that goes with it, you deserve it because God gave it to you, but you have to claim it. See, he's not putting anything on you. He's not, and someone says, "Well, he took everything away." No, 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 no. You gave it away.
Mm.
And you tell people that, boy, they get mad at you. You mean I gave it away? Well, it happened to you, didn't it? And as you think you are, well, there it is. And if you just keep it that simple, you'll start watching yourself. And that's what you need to do. Watch yourself. Because like Pogo said it, I have found the enemy and he is I. There it is. He's telling you, look out. You're on all the time. See, there's no rest period. You're on all the time, even in your dreams of the night, and you're told to dream the dream. Well, can't you think of something better than the monsters you're dreaming of? Unless you're girding up to fight them. Well, you you're told you don't have to be involved in all those situations. It's only you're paying attention to them that draws you in. Isn't that so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You were talking about the monsters, and I think that so often people look at these monsters as the boogeymans. But when you're speaking of the monsters, you're talking about the negative events, the things that they don't want in their lives, the everyday happenings that keep showing up. And you say that they often say, why is this happening to me? Those are the monsters. But they're the byproduct, as Mr. Lindell has said throughout this talk, of your own inner conversation.
Well, you're writing the script for your living. If every word was put down, that you could see every word that you said in the last in the last hours, just put it all right down and print it out and then read it. Do you accept it? Or do you reject it? You say, well, who's going to go through all of that? That's what it's about, willingness.
Yeah.
It's not about worthiness, because you ain't worthy. That's already gone. That ship sailed, as they say. But you can be worthy. You can be worthy because you be willing to test yourself. Test me now herewith, testing yourself. What do you believe? And why do you believe it? See, when you get into that, why do I believe this and why do you most of it, you don't even have a reason for believing it. I mean, how frivolous is that?
Yeah.
It's it, isn't it?
It is.
I don't know. I don't know. Just I have to make myself keep it simple. Because you see, I did get into a lot of study of all the stories of scripture, but I didn't see what it was, the essence of the message. See, all the stories have an essence of a message. And what it's showing you is every individual in that story had the first thoughts of what is happening to them ahead of their evidence. You're always thinking ahead of even your next step,
Yeah.
picking something up or doing this or that. You're always thinking ahead of your evidence. But that's the reason why you got to watch it, because since you're doing it all the time, you may not be paying attention. And that's can be anything from uncomfortable to disastrous, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. You said something just now, and I want to touch on it. You said since you're doing it all the time, and that's really the key. People don't realize, they think that there's small manifestations and big manifestations, things they call miracles, and then things that are naturally happen. You say it often, either everything's a miracle or nothing is.
Yeah. There's only God, right? Right off, he tells you there's only God, and there's only God, what God's doing. And if he didn't do it, it wasn't done. So, of course, it's a miracle because God did it.
Yeah.
He does miracles. Yes, look at this. All of this works just perfectly. Uh, and, and and I leave it alone. See, it isn't my business, so I stay away from it. They're always telling you, look at it, look at this, and look at this. No, 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 no. I don't want to look at that. I want to choose what I look at, and it's got to be lovely and of good report. That's all there is to it. That you just keep on track of looking for lovely and of good report, and that's what you'll be experiencing. You want to know how to set up your future? There it is, isn't it?
Absolutely. I love that you stated that. Listen, I choose what it is that I give my attention to. And in a world of social media where everybody's sending stuff to you, positive and negative, you have to begin choosing what you're going to give your attention to.
Hey, use it or lose it. That's the rule of the refrigerator. If you wait too long, it's gone. Becomes becomes freelance. Yeah, I heard that so often. If you don't choose, you lose, and that's true. See, if you're not choosing what you're thinking and feeling, well, you lose. It can be anything from uncomfortable to disastrous, isn't it? So,
It is so. I'm still thinking about the refrigerator. We have this rule at the house. We'll normally get something together. We'll order some food or make something. And so I give my wife 3 days. If she hasn't touched whatever it is that she says that she wanted in 3 days, it's open season and it's gone because
there you go.
otherwise it's going to get tossed out. And so I've learned something long enough that if it's not touched within that 3 day rule, she knows that I'm going to get it. So then she'll say, "Well, what happened to my chicken? What happened to my hamburger?" Well, 3 days had elapsed, and the next logical step was the trash. I wasn't going to throw it away, so like I said, we got the rule of 3 days.
You hear that? Well, I can't see. I can tell you this. If I get upset over something or feeling out of focus or whatever it is, all I have to do is just throw one of those CDs on there and 5 minutes and it's all gone.
Yeah.
See, the whole thing is you have to have discipline.
Yeah.
I know that's a dirty word, discipline, but hey, you really can't make any progress without it.
Absolutely.
You can be here and you can be floundering around, but there's no progress if there's no discipline. Simple as that. You're just going all over the place. I'm telling you this because I was there, so I know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
I'm not making any of this stuff up, believe me. This is what I went through, and because I went through it, I want to help you avoid it.
Absolutely.
That's all there is to it. And here it is. You already got it. You've heard it, but you got to stand up and choose it, right?
Absolutely. I want to go back to that dirty word, discipline. We look at all these successful, so-called successful people in the world, and any of them that's really had any type of longevity, if you look at their track record, it was because of discipline, period. Nowhere around it.
Right? You have to order your conversations right. That's it. That's the discipline. If you're ordering your conversations right, that's what you experience. I mean, come on, it's that simple. Let it be that simple. Don't complicate it, because then you're really screwing with the mechanism here.
Yeah.
I know it's a vegetable brain, but believe me, there's so much more there, and I don't think anybody's ever figured any of it out.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, yeah. Once you've seen it, then you know why you
Yeah.
never figured it out. Why? Well, because we're complicated.
Yeah.
We're just being in the world complicates everything. People say, I don't have no time to sit and think of things. Oh, that's bad. That's bad news. You don't want to spread that around.
So as we're winding down and we're talking about channeling your higher self, what would you say to the listener as we're winding down?
You're channeling yourself every day. That
Absolutely.
again.
Yeah.
You're doing so. See, you're on all the time. You're praying ceaselessly. Doesn't that tell you? And all prayers answered. So if you're saying this was an answered prayer, yeah, yeah, you thought about it, didn't you? There it is. As within, so without. I mean, if you can get around that, let me know.
Can't do it. Can't do it. I think the delusion is because it doesn't always show up immediately. Sometimes there's a time delay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, the situations have to come together
Yeah.
to for that mindset to jump in. And you see, mindsets are just that. They're set. Like I said, they're not going to tap you on the shoulder and say, well, we're coming into this. No, no. They're there. So you want to make sure that if you have mindsets, and you do have a lot of mindsets, in fact, most of them you don't even know about. But the thing of it is, they will crop up time and again. And if you cancel them out, see, you can put delete. That's that computer thing. Delete it. I like that. Yeah, it's gone. We should have a button here. We push it. Those thoughts are gone, but they're persistent.
Yeah.
See, that's the hell of it. They're
Yeah.
persistent, and you're not persistent, so you suffer it. That's it.
Yeah. Or they are. It goes back to what you said, though. They are persistent, but they're persistently going in the direction that's contrary to what it is they want to manifest.
That's it. Where are you going with this? I keep asking myself, where are you going with this? Well, what are you doing here? You have to do that, though.
You do have to do that.
I mean, yeah, I make a gesture in that, but that's what that's exactly what you're doing. But and when you put it off for a while, that's what you're doing too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put it off. It'll constantly be with you now. I mean, because we've told you the message, and even if you didn't actually put it together, what you already heard, it's doing its work. It can't fail. One's not lost. You just have to change, fit what's going on. And what's going on is God is giving you whatsoever to choose from. That's what's going on. What are you choosing from it? That's it, isn't it?
It is it. And as we're closing, I want to give a thanks and a praise. There was a young lady, she says, listen, I've been listening to your talks and they've changed my life. I say that to you because you don't always get that. You don't always hear that, but I get it firsthand because of my uploading the talks and so forth. So I just want to say to you, what you're doing is making a difference.
What he's doing is making a difference. If God didn't do it, it wasn't done.
Absolutely.
If you're ready, if you're open, he'll be right there with you.
Yeah.
That's all he tells you is, if you're not ready to receive me, well, then good luck.
Yeah.
And there isn't any such thing as that either. So it's just another way you deceive yourself.
Yeah.
And that's all we do. You're either deceiving yourself or you're training yourself. Deceiving yourself is training yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But to what results?
What results?
That's what you can always go by. What are the results?
Yeah,
Am I happy? Well, I got the right results.
absolutely.
I'm unhappy, then I'm suffering the foolishness that I'm sending out.
Yeah.
And it's coming back to me, and I'm going, where does it come from? Where does it come from? Come from right here. Everything comes from right here. It's all in you, and you're pushing it out. But what are you pushing out? Lovely enough, good report.
Hmm.
Works for you if you work it.
Absolutely.
That's all you have to do, just work it. I mean, and it's something you can do. It's not a heavy duty job. As a matter of fact, Jesus did it. All he did was choose. He said, because he said his father did all the work. He doeth all the work. Then what are you waiting for? See? What are you waiting for? I did it. I waited and waited. So I couldn't say what I was waiting for. Really. And you can't either, because until you enter in, you don't know what you were waiting for. And when you find out it's nothing, you think, wow, I sure spent a lot of energy thinking about nothing.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's the truth.
Yep. Yep.
Well, it's been a lot of fun.
It really has, sir. And like always, appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Uh,
Believe me. It's, you know, it's nice to, feed off of what someone says, it's isn't it?
it is. Absolutely.
And that was the reason for getting together in little groups. You get to feed off of what's being said. And sometimes they know things they don't know they know. And they might even say, I can tell you, listening to my tapes from 40 years, I'll say something, I'll hear something, I'll go, wow, I said that. Fantastic. I said that. Really. Just see,
Channeling. Because
yes, that's what you become an open channel. That's all he's asking you to do. He's telling you you choose not. Why not? I mean, that's what you're given to do. Choose. Well, choose and choose wisely. Wouldn't you say?
absolutely. Sir, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, it has.
Talk to you later.